All right, continuing with your last two examples here. So back to your y equals, or continue if you're still there. X to the fourth, remember to drop out of your exponent, minus 3x to the third, drop out of your exponent, minus 31x squared, plus 63x, plus 90. Hit graph so we can see what we have. Depending on where your window is, you might need to change it. I would definitely say the highest I am is good. My x's are definitely good, but I need to see lower. So you can change it however you need to. If you need help, let me know. But like I said, my x's are good, and my highest y is definitely good, but I'm going to change my lowest y. So if you want yours to match mine, you can see what I have and change them. Or if yours is already good, or if you know how to change yours differently and what you want to see, that's fine. I'm going to make this, I think, maybe negative 300. Let's try that. And that's going to work for me. All right. So starting out with, you have two minima values and one maxima, right? So your minima, I'm going to go second trace. Let's go find that minimum. I'm going to start with the one over here. So I need to be left of that point. I am not left of it. So I'm going to just go left, continue around. Make sure you are definitely left of it and hit enter. And then come back right and come back around. Make sure you're definitely right of it and hit enter. And when it says guess, just hit enter again. And we get negative 3.49, comma, negative 231.57. All right. I'm going to go find this maximum and then this minimum, but you can do it in either order. Second trace, I'm going to go find the maximum. I need to be left of it. Well, here's my cursor. I am definitely left of that point. Hit enter. Come back around, go up over it. Make sure you get clearly to the right of it. Hit enter, and then enter again. I get 0.94, 120.12. And then I'm going to go find my other minimum. Second trace, minimum is number 3. I am definitely left of that minimum point. Come back around, make sure I go down below it. And then get to the right of it. Once you're right, hit enter. And when you're on your guess, 4.8. Right, that should be 0.79. That round 9 is going to round up since that's a 6. But that 9 is going to round that 79 up to an 80. So that's 4.8. And then negative 122.78. So those are my maxima and my minima points. Your domain. All right, come on. That one's easy. All real numbers. Your range. This one is not an all real numbers for your range because it does have a lowest and a highest point. This one has a lowest location, which is this y value that was back here. So remember, when you look at your minima, you look at your y values, and your smaller one, the lowest one, is the one you're going to use. So bracket, because we actually reach negative 231.57 until we go up forever, infinity, right? Going up forever. Increasing and decreasing. So I start at negative infinity and I'm decreasing until this point, which that point, which was one of my minimum values, was that negative 3.49. At that point, I then increase, so negative 3.49 until the x value of my maximum, which was 0.94. I decrease again at that point until my x value of my other minima, which was that 4.8. And then I increase again from 4.8 forever. So 4.8 to infinity. All right, and your last example, back to y equals, clear it out, type in your function. And make sure you go to your graph. I'm going to change this window. I don't really need to see all the stuff down here. So my x's I'm good, and my highest up I'm good. So my my window, On my y value, my minimum, I'm going to go just to like negative, I'm going to try negative 20 and just see what that looks like and see if I need to adjust it anymore. Okay, it's not terrible, but it's not great. I think I'm seeing too much up here, so I am going to go back to my window and also change this to just be positive 20 for my maximum. That is better. If you still want to see it better, then maybe you could say you're too far side to side, and you could change those to only be like negative 5 to 5. Once again, if you need help with your window and setting it up, I would help you with that. So once I see this picture here, what still might be kind of hard for you to see is what exactly is happening here, right? So I can zoom in. One moment. I'm going to zoom back out. You probably also zoomed in. We're going to zoom back out. I'm going to adjust how I zoom. Once again, I would help you with this. So I do want to zoom in, but right now there is a little cursor blinking at the origin. I want to zoom in closer. I arrowed down to get that cursor closer to where that low point is. So I can see what's happening. And I can now see that it only has a minimum value at one point. It doesn't go up and then back down. It was kind of hard to see if it did that or not. So I do have a minima, which I'll find in a moment, but my maxima doesn't exist. There are none of those. It never has a maximum location. So my minima, second trace, go to minimum, need to be left of it. So I'm going to go clearly over until I know I am definitely left of wherever that is. And then go clearly right of wherever that is. And then hit enter for guess. My minima occurs at, now remember we talked about this. This has an E. Yours may or may not. Mine has an E, that means 0. Yours might actually say 0. It is 0. 0, negative 6. You should know your domain by now. Our range, we do have a specific range. It's not all real numbers. Your domain goes lowest, which the lowest is negative 6, but goes up forever, so it does go to positive infinity. Your range needs to be lowest to highest. So you could have a graph that is pointing down if it looked something like this. This would be negative infinity until whatever that number is. All right. Keeping that in mind, it's not always a number to infinity. It could be negative infinity to a number. All right, increasing and decreasing. Going to be relatively easy because it only decreases and then increases. So it decreases from negative infinity until 0. And then at 0 starts to increase and then increases forever.